back to Media Mama TV. I'm Alicia Cutting, and we're here for INSPO and Convo, because there's always something to say about everything. And you remember, Alika, like that first crush that you might have had as you were a child, or Dana, who like kind of give you warm and fuzzies as you were growing up, right? So like, let's talk about our celebrity crushes, because no one knows the people who are random in the 6th grade unless that person's watching. But what about our celebrity crushes? I don't know. Listen, if you're watching, thank you for subscribing. We'll shout you out.
Oh,
I need to hear this from Alika. Let's see.
I know. Alika,
What'd you say?
come on.
I know we have one because, you know.
Oh, see, the problem with Alika is that she's been boy crazy since she was like 8. And so I was thinking that was my problem when we decided on this topic. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, I have so many. And when you brought childhood, I was trying to limit it to like recently, and now you just brought it up 30 years. I can say that I had a huge crush on John Travolta. And like back in the day, and I realized it's because I always liked men that had swagger. I'm thinking about the movie Grease when he was like,
that's what I was gonna ask you.
And but now I think the guy that I really like, who also has swagger, actually is Morris Chestnut.
Sorry, no.
His issues talking, like he doesn't pronounce very well, and for some reason, like he's just like, what's the word? Like that is sexy because he's not perfect.
Yes. No, he's beautiful.
He looks so good, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. I do know what you're saying.
He has a human quality.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Dana,
he's beautiful.
What were you saying now? Because I'm holding my peace, because me and Alika are gonna have to go off stage sometime.
You're gonna be fighting? Oh, okay. All right.
Morrison. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel like he has quite the fan base. I don't think you two. So for me, I feel like mine are not a little different. So back in the day when we were kids, my first couple of crushes were Theo Huxtable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And then also Stefan. Do you remember Stefan when Steve Urkel turned into? Oh man.
Yes.
What?
Stefan Urkel.
Yes, Stefan Urkel. So that were my kid crushes. And now, there are 2 people that if I could merge them together, I feel like would be amazing. And they are Common.
Yeah.
I love, I just love his vibe. He's very, he cares about, what he eats. And I just feel like, I could just picture us staying up all night talking and, vibing and whatnot. And also, something about Vince Vaughn. I think that's kind of weird, but he's fun.
Weird.
And I love I love a dad bod, like a soft man, not too, just a little bit of softness.
Like, are you talking what's his name, Kevin on King of Queens?
King of Queens guy?
No. So
that's too soft.
Vince Vaughn's body type, maybe I don't know if it's now, but maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who he is? He was
in Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn.
Yes. Yeah. He's funny. That does it for me too. He's super funny. So I think those 2, sort of, if they could be merged into one, I'd be happy.
Yeah. Got you. Millie, you giggling?
Oh my goodness. Well, this crush has been forever, and still to this day it stands. I'm telling you, this man has swag. He's always sexy, very the way he approached and all that. Unfortunately, he passed away, of course, but definitely George Michael.
Oh.
You start that one song and you're like,
was it Quiet Whispers?
He would have wanted you.
Yes.
Careless Whisper?
Careless Whispers.
Yes.
That's the one. Oh.
I love George Michael, and they put that song, I'm like, what?
Really? I hate to break it to you, but I don't think it would have been mutual. I don't think so either.
That's all right.
It was a mutual respect, though. He would have loved her rice and her food.
I think he will go for the rice. Yes. Oh, that man is since very little. every time I saw him, I'm like, I guess it was like what MTV back then, and
Mhm.
all those shows. And I'll be like him, and then the taxi. And I was like, oh my God, I love this video. I used to go crazy. I used to go bananas. And I think that man is so attractive. Leather jacket, the little cross earring, like.
Okay. I'm learning
You
something
go
so
take
new
a
right
walk for a
now.
minute, Millie? You okay? You gotta take a walk and come back. You burn up? You burn
One
up?
second, let me go cool down. Yeah, that man is like,
Yeah, he was cute.
Was.
Okay.
my cup of tea. Even though my husband is completely different, he's tan and dark hair, which I love, and the curlies, but that would be my cup of tea if I have to let go. I'm telling you.
Okay.
What about you, Alicia? Besides Morris, because I already got him. So go ahead.
Well, okay. So as you know, the Cosby Show was really, really instrumental in my life as well. So Theodore Huxtable was like, as far as a character, he was like really, really like my teenage crush.
I
Like
think he used his
seriously,
government name, Theodore.
because
They were close. They
I
were
was
close like
no,
that.
you know what I'm saying? Me and Theo, like seriously. But Malcolm Jamal Warner is a person. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna add on. So yeah, as a teenager during my formative years, because we're about that same, timetable. So Theo was my teenage TV crush. Malcolm Jamal Warner is also, now that I'm like reflecting and thinking about it, he's actually also, I would say, kind of an adult crush as well. I know he's married to children and everything like that. I'm not talking about that. But I fully respect him as an actor, director, performer, and all those things too. So I'm thinking about it since, Alika's acted all like she got the hold on Morris chestnut and whatnot. Okay, whatever. But I will also add this one too. So Denzel Washington, I know. Like, oh my God, Denzel. But what makes him so crush worthy for me, I actually met him years and years and years ago. Fun fact, when he was playing on St. Elsewhere. So to watch his artistic development, really, there is not one role that I feel like one character type that he has not really played. So the actor performer in me loves the depth of his characters and the fact that he plays them so well. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I guess I have to say,
Denzel is not like Morris Chestnut, like, but Denzel 100%. Like I, when you said that, I'm like, I have a crush on him too, simply because of how he absorbs every character. Remember we did Training Day and we were all like,
God.
What? He could play a bad guy? What's going on?
I'm like John Q. I'm like, Malcolm X. I'm like, I could go Mississippi Masala. Don't get me started on the whole Denzel situation.
He is definitely hands down one of my favorite actors out there.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like you said, Alika, any character that he gets, he just goes all in, and he does phenomenal. And he never disappoints ever. And
even Mo Better Blues, I really appreciate. I think that was when, I'm not going to do like the, oh my God, how people look necessarily, kind of like, is this your, everybody has a different preference as far as like your vibe. But just when he was during Mo Better Blues, that kind of might have been like his 30-ish prime. I don't want to say prime because that sounds so ageist. So
is that when he had the suspenders, on and the pants?
He was a trumpeter.
Yeah, he looked
and
good.
He just this whole artistic vibe, again there. But yeah. Okay, so Gina B.
Yeah.
You've been absorbing all of this.
I know. I'm just like I'm absorbing and appreciating, and I'm thinking about when I was a kid. I had more crushes on my schoolmates than on like people who were celebrities. My first crush was when I was 5. But as I got older, I realized that my friend Sarah introduced me to a term a long time ago, sapiosexual, which is you're like sexually, like you're like the mind.
Intelligence.
Yes, how somebody thinks. And I think that I got a whole bunch of crushes that aren't so sapiosexual, but the person who really stood out in my mind was Trevor Noah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I get
I
that.
don't know. I love the way he thinks. I think that he's
Yeah.
funny and he's just so intelligent and he's worldly and he's could be my son, but you know, that's irrelevant.
What?
But yeah, who else? Tom Cruise. I'm kind of sad to admit that because I really like Tom Cruise. I really think he's a good actor and he was like my
Yes.
first matinee idol in college. Risky business. So who else?
I think the
Oh,
greatest actors that came out and actresses is like the early 80s and 90s. Those were like the phenomenal.
right. There were, yeah, there's a lot of
And
talent.
still at their age right now, they still outstand these other
Killing it.
new trending actors out here and actresses out there, and they're good and all that. But these people, they got bullets in their belt. I'm sorry.
Right.
These are
Yeah.
You know, though, Millie, or is it that we're old now and so we have a little bit of
I
bias?
guess,
Those actors
yeah.
came up when we were young.
Right.
Because I seem to think, I remember my father saying, ain't nobody sing nowadays like Marvin Gaye. And now I'm thinking about when my kids listen to music, I'm like, yeah, but that rap's not like Sir Mix-a-Lot. So I think part of it is our nostalgia.
That is great.
Like,
Yeah,
You know what?
conversation today. Yes.
I will actually add this one too, because I think that for me, crush doesn't necessarily really crush for me isn't like, oh my gosh, warm and fuzzies, you know, like, but it's like, I have just such the deepest, utmost regard for you. I just want to hang with you. I just want to like talk with you. I just want to like sit there and like vibe on life with you. To me, that's like the definition of crush in this situation for me. So yeah, so I think I actually also want to add in, I know this is gonna, some people might not know her, but she's a judge. She's a television judge, and her name is Judge Faith. And I feel like she's like kind of like a best friend in my head situation. Like Tamron Hall could be a best friend in my head.
Oh yeah, Tamron Hall.
You know, Judge Faith, because she's like funny, but she's smart. And I'm gonna get off topic here, but I know I love judge shows. And she's smart, you know, she doesn't like let people bigger back and forth, and she'll like call you out. So she's like one of like, I can like, we could go out to lunch and just like chill and laugh, you know? So.
Well, I have to throw in my Barack Obama. I mean, that's going to be, I know that's going to be a mainstay forever. I just love that man. I love him. I love the way he looks. I love the way he sounds. I love probably the way
he shoots the ball.
The way he shoots, whatever he does, he just can't lose with me.
He has a radio voice. Am I right? Right. Every time I hear him, I was like, he needs to be in like smooth jazz. I don't know what.
Alicia, get him in there.
Right.
All right, listen. Let my people talk to your people, Barack. Let's handle this thing.
He can do jazz all night. It's okay.
All day and all night. I love me some Barack. But I'll also take Michelle.
Yeah.
I'll take them as a pair.
Yeah.
And in other news.
It's a topic for another day.
Wild and crazy guys.
But also who I think is a really cool, you know, if I want to say like a bestie friend in my head, would also be Tracy Ellis Ross. And not just because, you know, the hair situation.
Amazing hair.
And, you know, on Blackish and her acting and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that she represents a lot of different hairstyles on that show, actually, if you really think about it. So, you know, granted, you know, her mom is super famous. Diana Ross is her mama, and her father was a really famous producer and, you know, did a lot of great things too. But she could be like a, you know, a best friend in the head. And you know, I'm just saying. And I know that she's like a celebrity crush for a lot of our other friends too, who are listening and who like love her.
Yeah, how can you not love her?
But we also love her because she gives some inspirational advice sometimes. And hey, we're all about inspo, info, and convo. So our inspirational
nice transition.
Girl, you already know this. Come
I have a question though, Alicia. Speaking of people out there that like her too, are there any people that we want to shout out today? That was a transition.
I'm thinking.
That was a good transition
I'm
too.
thinking there are a couple people that we should shout out to.
Okay.
So what Tracy says, and Tracy, because it all flows and everything all flows together. So
Yeah.
Tracy says, it was when I realized I needed to stop trying to be somebody else and be myself that I actually started to own, accept, and love what I had. So that's like awesome advice. And like you said, Alika, we got some cool people who we love.
Well, let's own them. What we have. Who are they?
We love you. So our stubby shout outs today. Okay.
So today we are shouting out Tracy Ramos. Thank you for
Tracy.
subscribing.
Tracy.
And Kristen Strickland. It's also a new subscriber. So thank you both for
Thank you.
us. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And we want you to we want to shout you out, not just because it's fun and we have fun saying your names and shouting you out, but just because you need to do what?
Subscribe.
You're like, wait, what? Subscribe.
You already know. See, we shouldn't even have to say it anymore because you already know. If you're watching this, you don't need to wait for us to say it. You already know.
Know it.
Just subscribe. Hit the red button. It's really easy. It's right there. Right there.
Easy peasy.
So if you also have any topic ideas, not only should you make a comment, should you leave a comment, let us know what you think, but also if you have any show ideas, hit us up, let us know. And then we'll shout you out again for bringing a topic, right? Absolutely. Yes. So on behalf of all of us, we thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us, and we look forward to catching you next time with more info and convo on Media Mama TV. Have a positive, peaceful, and a productive day.
Bye.